Okay, guys. Well, hopefully we're all up and running and working. I know it's a bit early. I like to pop on just before the actual 7 o'clock time so that we can check everything's doing as it should be and kind of working. And as we get a bit closer to the time, I'll actually start. Hi, Caitlin. For anyone that is already here, will you let me know if you can see clearly and if you can hear me properly? Very good. Very good. Just checking. You don't want to be talking to myself for the next 20 minutes. Hi, Danielle. Nice to have you here as well. Smashing. Thank you, girls. It really helps. It helps with my entire life. If we get off to a good start, it saves all the messing around later. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday evening. As I say, I've come on a little bit early, so we're not going to properly start till a bit close to the time, just in case. So I want to say hello to Melissa, who's just joined us, and hello, Angela. So nice to have you here, honey. I have replied to your email, I promise. And my colouring quest, and Sept. My week was wonderful. Thank you very much, Caitlin. I've been a busy bee at work, but apart from that, we have been doing well. A couple of migraines earlier on, but luckily I took my tablets, were all clear, and we are away for the life. I'm sure they just know when you've got something planned that you really, really need to be there for and decide, nope, you're not going. And yeah, I hope you guys are going to find this interesting. Today's live, obviously, you can tell from the title, is all about how I do grayscale. I've got a couple of books here. We won't just be sticking with the Jade Summer, but we're going to start with markers. And I've got the Jade Summer Chibi Horror, because, you know, it's nearly Halloween, isn't it? Sort of, not quite. And I have a lovely Selina Fenech grayscale to my side here as well, which is the Memories Wake Victorian romance book. Hi, Audrey. Nice to have you here. I'm so pleased you guys could make it. Always worried I'll be here alone. Your colouring quest, what would your first name be? I'm so sorry. Just so I don't have to call you Colouring Quest, it sounds weird. But you're going to love grayscale. Everyone's scared of grayscale. And actually what grayscale does is help you learn how to shade. It puts the dark, medium, light in there for you, and it helps you do it. Don't be sorry. It's just so that, you know, it's so I don't have to call you Colouring Quest, although 50-50. At some point, I'll forget that it's Vicky. So I'm going to write that down. And who else have we got? Hi, Claire. You must be a Resi Evil fan, unless you just called Claire Redfield, but I'm assuming you're a Resi Evil fan. Hi, Tara Lane. But yeah, I think you guys, once you start grayscale, you will love it. I'm doing really well, thank you, Claire. How is everyone else today? Hope you're excited for the weekend, because I know I enjoy mine. Anyway, yes, where was I? I always get distracted by the comments. I'm going to stop doing that. So, yes, how I grayscale. So we're going to start with an easy one, and then we'll work up to the pencil that I know everybody hates. But, you know, it's got to be done. 5 more minutes, guys. A couple more minutes, and then stuff will happen, I promise. So, yeah, honestly, Vicky, once you start grayscale, you'll love it. You just need to kind of decide whether you're a marker or a pencil kind of person. And to be honest, there's grayscale that will work with both versions. And I've got a few examples to show you here as well in some of the books to also show you. I thought you might be, Claire, to be honest, with that name. I'm a big Resi Evil fan. I'm just working on the remake of 2. I'm only at the beginning, so no spoilers, people, but it takes me about 10 billion years to complete a computer game. Or then Vicky, if you like pencil, you're going to love grayscale once you start, because it just makes shading the first time to be an actual relaxing experience while you're trying to improve. Because yeah, it does it kind of all for you. Did I say hello, Wen? If not, hello, Wen. I don't know if I saw you there. I forget who I've said hello to. I put a jumper on for the live stream, and I'm not sure it was a clever idea. So I'll be back in 2 seconds, ladies. There we go, that's better. Can't wear a jumper when you're already nervous for a live, can you? Wasn't clever. Didn't think it through. Didn't have Emily sorting me out with her list. Had to manage things on my own like an adult today. Let's see now. Do we think... It's 3 minutes to. I think we're safe to make a start. Everything I'm using... in the books and the pencils I'm using, I have actually put it in the description for you guys. The links that you see are Amazon affiliate links. Sorry about that, people, but it's kind of the only few pennies that I make off this. So I did join that program so that my links earn me, well, literal pennies, but it's better than nothing. I'm not going to complain when I can buy myself a colouring book at the end of the month. So let's start. I like Jade Summers. I find them very relaxing. And I didn't really start, Corey. I just came on to get everything set up, but we haven't actually started. I just wanted to be, you know, ready this time instead of, oh my God, stuff's not working. But we've literally just started now. And hi, Corey. Thank you for coming and being the bossy spanner lady. If you need stuff and I miss it, Corey will sort it. She knows everything. Hi, Stephanie. Nice to see you here. So yeah, I love Jade Summer. I love Jade Summer to relax and to just straight colour, which, you know, it's not like me, I know, but the whole point of grayscale and markers is you can straight colour and it'll still look like you've shaded. So I've got a little bit of this already done, and we're going to pull out a couple of markers and I'm going to show you my point of just how easy grayscale actually is. So I have these Light Wish markers. I got a massive cheap set on Amazon. And this is 102 raw umber. And you have to go backwards. Hello. There we go. Left, not right. The thing with markers on any paper is once you start, you can't stop. With alcohol, especially on cheap paper, on good paper like Corey uses, you've got time to play. But on cheap Amazon paper, it'll soak in and it'll dry. And once it's dried, you'll get an awful streak on your page. So you've got to just back and forth. For bigger spaces, you can use a chisel tip if you prefer. But for some reason, I don't like the chisel tips. I think they're streakier. I've gone straight over the eyes because I'll make them black at a later date. And you will notice that your alcohol marker bleeds if you get too close to the lines. I'm not too bothered. I will generally, I want his mouth to be lighter, so I'll just go in with a bit of white gel pen to fix the mess. Or if I was using a darker colour, I'll just be more careful with my second colour not to bleed back over the brown. And you literally keep going. All in one go, so your pen's not drying on itself. I normally take more time, but you know, nobody wants to sit and watch me colour a bear for the next 3 days. Amazon paper is thirsty. It kills your ink, it kills your nibs. I only really use cheap markers for Amazon paper is my version, because I'm not. Some people do amazing things on Amazon paper with Copics, their blends and their beautiful creations. I just straight colour with a pen, and my grayscale does all the work for me. So that is what it looks like. It is as simple as that. That is literally all I do. Or don't even worry, Claire. You watch whatever you want. We'll see you when we see you. It's nice you joined us at all. Hi, Dee. Nice to see you here. So we'll move her up. You can see she's quite well coloured. I'll do one more piece for the people just joining. And I've got a mint green 56 from the Light Wish again. And for her jacket, same thing. We are going to work within the black line so that we can use it for the edge. Very careful near the skin. I do not want to bleed into that because I can't use a white gel pen to fix it, because then I won't be able to colour the skin over the top. So when you're dealing with marker and areas you don't want to bleed, stop before the line. Trust me, on Amazon paper it will spread out. Like, watch this. You can see where I've got a bit of space, and in a few seconds that bit of white will disappear as my marker spreads itself out. I hope you guys have questions for me for grayscale. Otherwise it's going to be like being in class, isn't it? Rather than an interactive experience. Any questions you do have, I'm happy to answer. I'm a beginner colorist, so if I know the answers, I will gladly give them to you. But I'm not an expert. I'm a hobbyist like you guys. And it really is as easy as that, guys. That is marker in grayscale. How do I blend markers? I'm going to be honest, Dee, I don't. If I'm shading with markers, so let's take this chair. I'll take my two colours. I'll take my lighter colour and I will colour my object. Put the base in, do a few bits, and I don't blend, I manga shade, so I block shade when I'm using markers. So I will literally take the bits that would be in shadow and I will just add the shadow, which, to be honest, half of the time I don't even do that with Jade Summer. The Jade Summer pretty much does that for you, but that is my version of grayscale blend. Right, let's see what we missed. What is the best marker, best for grayscale colour pencils or markers? Doesn't matter, it depends which one you prefer. I like pencil, but I use pencil a lot. That's my preferred medium. So it just really depends kind of what you prefer. It just comes down to your technique, your preferred method, and what well, it wasn't just like that. I did stress myself out with it when I started D, I promise. I worked my way up to, you know what, I'm not going to stress myself out about this anymore. I'm going to block shade my corners. I'm going to be happy with that because Amazon paper doesn't very easily blend. Vicky, do you have a favourite marker? A cheap set you'd recommend? I'll be honest, I like the Ohuhu. If you're just, and I don't mind bullet nibs because I don't blend. I don't need brushes. I don't need expensive markers. I am literally, this is one colour. My grayscale does it for me. I use Jade Summer and marker to just relax and block colour. So the Ohuhu are very good. These Light Wish have been quite good. These were quite cheap on Amazon. I would generally recommend whichever quite decent size set is in the sale, to be honest. Right, we're going to move on because obviously I want to show you I'm going to show you some examples of things, and then we will move into Selina Fenech because, well, I don't want the live to be over in 10 minutes because it'll be too short. But yeah, this is my point. We all stress ourselves out about grayscale, spend loads of time going back and forth and trying to decide. And to be honest, get yourself a cheap book. Things like these Black River art books on Amazon. They're usually just about the £4 mark. So whatever that is in whatever country you're from. Nice cheap Amazon paper books, and just play and practice. And I will show you some of the bits and pieces. I'm going to see if this will let me lift it up without going absolutely wild. So hello Sonia, thank you so much for joining us, and hello Beauty Care Central or whatever your name might be. And let's see now, which have I got a smiley delivery yesterday. So very good. My first Jade Summer. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Oh, the Chibi Girls, 4 books in one. You've also got 100 pages there for a bargain, so you're gonna love it for a long time as well. So Beauty Care Central says, do you use pencil blender in grayscale when you colour with colour pencils? I don't. I'm not a big blender kind of person. If the white is really bothering you, you can put a marker base down and then just pop your blend over the top. I don't use pencil blenders. I use paler shades of the colour I'm using. And when we go into the pencils in a bit, you will see that. So you'll see how I actually blend my colours together. This is the thing, Dee. It shouldn't be stressful. There's no, you know what I mean? Just have a play, have a practice, and you will honestly work it out for yourself as you go. I want to say hello to Happily Handmade Delights, who is Wendy, and hello Debbie. It's so nice to have you guys. Right, so some of my examples. The Black River art books are super cheap and super fun to colour. And later, don't leave me, don't abandon me for my other videos, but later, if you have a look on my channel, I have a Let's Colour in Dream World called the Rabbits page, and we coloured this page together. This has got an alcohol marker background in like a purple and a blue, because I wasn't living this life where you colour that entire page because it won't look right. And this is all cheap Black Widow. I take that back. They're not cheap, are they? Let's not lie. This is Black Widow pencils, which when you've got the whole set isn't that cheap. But I've done a 2-part video and you can see this beautiful page done. I'm very pleased actually with how this came out. We even coloured the bunnies, so you can see that done together. So if you do want to colour a page like as a colour along and follow someone while you're learning, I have that one. I also have up on the channel a Let's Colour in the Dream World book, and for those that aren't a coloured pencil fan, like I say, I tend to stick with colour pencil, but I do have a marker one. It's a beginner version, so don't expect anything too beautiful, but we did do this together. Hello Tiffany, so happy to have you with us, and Linda. And Abby, hello Abby, nice to have you here. I'm sorry for anyone I miss, obviously. It's not even that my chat moves that fast because I'm not that big a channel, it's that I've only done one of these before, so I'm still learning to keep an eye on things. That's why Corey grabs you on and says hello, because she's my wonderful moderator today. Terrelyn's put, they have Sanjoki alcohol brush tip markers for $43, 80 brush tip markers for $29. They are great and I love them. So a nice tip from Terrelyn if you are looking for a specific set there. So this is also a quick Let's Colour. I have to turn it the right way. There we go, left to right. It's backwards, right. We did this together on my channel on Let's Colour. Can't remember what I call it. I think I called it Let's Colour with Markers in Dream World. And this is alcohol marker, really simply laid down. And I used fine liners for the leaves, just 3 colours of green fine liner and a brown, and just really had fun with it. I'm actually quite pleased with how the leaves turned out. It's probably the only bit I like, to be honest, but it was a learning page, so I'm all right with it. You know what I mean? You've got to start somewhere. I would do things a little bit differently now, add a bit of brown into this tree, but the leaves, you know, I will take that with me forever and use it again. So I feel like as long as I learn something, then something useful did happen. Also, more recently from my grayscale, again, a Black River art, really cheap. This is essentially a book of photographs for practice. So this is Women of Fantasy, and I did, if I can find her, this page, and this is done with the infamous brutfuner 520 set. So yes, this is a cheap pencil set done on grayscale. Hi Marilyn, so nice to have you with us. I will answer that in a moment for you, Beauty Care, I promise. And yeah, I did this page, and it's got 3 greens and 3 browns, about 1 billion colours for skin tone, because I'm still learning that myself, and I am very pleased with how this turned out. And let's be honest, the grayscale helped me do most of this. The only bit I'm not so keen on is the paper couldn't take the layers I was trying to add, so this little bit of face, not happy with. But, you know, we've got to learn to take the bits we don't like and stop staring at them from this far away. Hold the page at arm's length, and I bet every time you like your page, because other people don't look at your pages as closely as you do. And to be honest, if you take a picture on Instagram and have a look, they always look better than they do in real life anyway. So totally pleased with that. And I didn't want to mess with the background, so I just didn't. I left it. Didn't take 3 years colouring it in. Probably could have used marker in the background if I'd have really wanted to. So Beauty Care says, how do you select the colours? To be honest, in fact, let's take an example. So Fairy and Fantasy 2, Christine Caran, I love this book. Her beautifully drawn grayscale. And let's be honest, if you get a wonderfully drawn picture, it'll do all the work for you. When they've placed the lines in the right place and the shadings in the right place, they will do it for you. Now, I have a video for this as well. How I colour sunflowers is a bit... I'm selling my channel today, aren't I, guys? Sorry. But, you know, a lot of the tutorials, they are there because I do a lot of grayscale. That's what I enjoy. So you can see a sunflower coloured to learn. So what I do, Beauty Care, is I colour the things that I know will need to be certain colours. So sunflowers, they're a yellowish brown. I picked myself a few shades, got that in. Skin tone, I kind of picked, you know, I didn't want it to be too fair, too pale, because I saw that curly hair and thought of a richer skin colour. So I did that, her lips, and then, to be honest, I thought nice, dark, curly hair, and that came to life. And then all that was really left was a top, and I thought, green eyes, green top, that would be nice. Your picture comes to life as it goes. The main rules for me is I try not to pick too many colours. I'll pick 4 or 5 different colours, and then everything on the page, I will try and stick to that. So brown, yellow, green, pink. Skin tones don't really count. Black and white don't count. And if I'd have had more flowers or images on the page, I'd have tried to reuse the colours from other things, so you're not adding 1 billion colours to a page. That's kind of what people talk about with colour theory and how things look too busy and too much. So just keep those. And when I say 5 colours, what I actually mean is a light, dark and medium of each colour, and then 5, not just these are 3 of my 5. So 3 pinks, 3 blues, 3 greens, and that will be my page, and I'll just use them all over the place in different sets, different groupings. So you're seeing the same colour but in different ways, so I can get around it not being too busy. I think the only other one I have in here, so same sort of thing. I knew I wanted her to be pale and be a blonde, so from there she kind of had blue eyes, so I tried to reuse the blue elements, and then with the blue, her top seemed to be purple, goes nice with blue, and then I reused the purple, so I'm not adding too many colours. I'll be honest, the cherry was just like, it's going to have to be red, isn't it? So I added it on. But, you know, you're reusing those colours. I reused paler tones of her hair to create the cake, whatever your cake goes in. Ugh, words gone. And just reuse the colours around the page so they don't look like, you know, too many shades everywhere, if that makes sense. If I didn't answer your question, then re-ask the bit I miss. Oh, thank you, Linda. That's so nice. That's a lovely thing to say. Oh, you're all too nice, to be honest. Thank you, Tiffany and Sonia and Melissa, and you're just lovely. And Audrey. And hello, Marilyn. I think I missed you arrive. Hi, Marilyn. Nice to see you. Right. I promise one more and then we will start on our Selina Fenech. So the other one I have is this. And I'm sure this is a Selina Fenech grayscale. And this is the Gothic. And I have this page, which was a lot of fun. I'm sorry, I can't zoom out more than that. My camera will fall over. Hi, Emmy. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us. And I pull this because this is my pink Pablos, which I'd quite like to use again for a pink dress today. And obviously, it looks like a busyish page when essentially I used blue in the sky, blue for the dragon, blue for her eyes, pink for her dress, pink in the sky, and then green and brown and a bit of blonde, and that's all the colours that I added to this page. So again, I stuck to my 5-page rule. I already had a blue dragon, I added another blue dragon in, and I didn't add anything else. Corey's always saying how wonderful I am. She can say that all she wants. She's totally lying. She knows I'm amazing. She's being my Emma because I pick on her streams. Corey does amazing streams every Sunday. In fact, you're streaming again tomorrow, aren't you, Corey? I would imagine. And I'm always there to pick on her. So she's getting her own back. Right. So we have Selina Fenech's couldn't remember the name then. Memory's Wake, Victorian Romance. And this is obviously the grayscale edition by Selina Fenech. And I really liked the idea of this beautiful page if we were going to have a practice and a play. So I've pulled a few colours to start with. We'll do a few bits and pieces. I've also had a few people ask me about working in pencil with a marker base. So I've also actually pulled a marker skin tone to show you how I would lay marker under my pencils. That's the word I'm looking for. Pencils, people. Let's see now. What have I missed? Let's have a little look. Corey, yes, are all of Selina's books create space? I am sorry, Corey. On Amazon, yes, but I would imagine she probably has. Everybody has an Etsy nowadays, don't they? Shall I have a little look for you and see what information we have? See if you can see if she has an Etsy shop or anything. I'm not seeing anything, but I bet if you have a quick look. I mean, she has quite a lot of books out. I would imagine she has PDF versions. You know me. I like to own the book. So there you go. Hi, Deb. Deb says, "Oh, Selina has Etsy PDFs." So deep breaths, Corey. You're okay. You'll be able to. So I have picked for this beautiful dress 4 shades of pink. These are my Pablo pencils by Caran D'ache. Don't worry, I've got some cheap brutfuners as well. We're going to do a bit of everything so you can see, you know, it's not impossible if you have budget pencils. I have 270 raspberry red, 082 rose pink, 071 salmon pink, and 493 granite rose. Hi, Christine. Oh, Christine is new. Everybody be nice to her. No, I say that. Everyone's nice here. You're going to have a lovely time, Christine, I promise. Any questions, you're free to ask. If you're here and you want to know anything, if I miss it, Corey or Emmy will answer for me because they are my wonderful moderators. Oh, of course, tomorrow on Corey's stream is Debbie from Colour Me Stress Free, which I know that'll be fun, so can't wait. There you go. I'm pretty sure I've just started Corey on a new buying spree, and that was probably something bad, to be honest. Something very bad. Oh, the last thing you need is more PDFs, Corey. Right, let's start with our dark pink. I'm not a trained artist. I don't do the whole light to dark thing like you're supposed to. I start with the darker colours, and I do this for a specific reason. If you lay your pale colour down everywhere, it's actually harder to see the grayscale, harder to see the medium, and just makes it harder work. So darkest pink is 270 raspberry red. If you're colouring grayscale, even if you're colouring the same page, you don't have to have the same pencils, you don't have to have the same anything. Pick your darkest grey area and your darkest colour of the shade that you want to work in, and just lay it down. I always lay a firm edge to the edge of the area, and then I blend it out and soften it so that where it's going to meet the next colour, that soft layer of colour is going to blend effortlessly into the next set. And I'm only putting this pink over the very darkest areas of her dress. Things will look very weird when you start. Never panic. Items never look good until you finish. It's a simple fact. To be honest, some pages don't even look good until you've completely finished them. I've got 3/4 of the way through a page, hated it until it was done, to be honest. I'm essentially going to add in all the shadow. We've got a crisp line where her hand is, and then we're just fading that out into nothing so that my next colour will go into that nice and easily. Oh God, Corey's buying stuff. Somebody get the woman away from the keyboard. I'm surprised you don't have Selina Fenech already. The thing is, that is a rabbit hole, Corey, because she has so many beautiful books out. And she has line art and grayscale. Definitely started something. So I'm not going to do the entire thing each time. I'm just going to pick out bits and pieces so you can start seeing things come to life, and then we'll do a few different bits on the page for today's video so you can see a few different things. You're going to notice that I'm not stressing about it. I'm putting my dark pink in the darker shade, and I'm giving a crisp line where it's a crisp line, and then I'm fading it into the dress so my other colour will nicely layer. And even though I'm using kind of dark, medium light colours, the grayscale really will, you know, if you didn't want to mess and you just want a colour, you could use a pale pink marker all over the top of this and your shading's going to be there. If you just want to use one pink pencil and lightly go over everything, again, your shading's going to be there. Right, I'm going to take a slightly less dark pink in 082 Rose Pink. Oh, Terralyn, I really hope your week picks up for you. I really do. Sometimes, yeah, it's nice to be able to lock yourself away for the Saturday, isn't it? Put your feet up, have a brew. And we're going to pop this next. I'm just going to bring that out ever so slightly further into, I'm still sticking to all of the darker shading. I'm not touching any of this white at all. The thing with clothes is you're going to have to decide for yourself what kind of fabric this will be. If this is a cotton, you're going to bring your pink all the way through. If this is a satin, you're going to leave some white, because satin will shine and add highlight and it will reflect the light. And just by doing that really simple thing, it's going to look completely different. I think I want her to be a little bit shiny, and I will probably add some white highlight into her dress. So you need to be deciding these things as you go along. Or, like I said, if this stuff stresses you out, just don't bother. It doesn't matter. Just put your pinks down. Have fun. It really depends on what level you want to take it to and where you're at. We've got to learn. somewhere. You can't just go straight into adding everything into your page all at once. Right, so I would also advise not doing it quite as quickly as I am on the camera for you guys. I agree with Abby, and I think the weekend should be 7 days as well. The more weekend, the better. If only we could just be earning money without actually having to go to work. Right, so I'm going to bring that down and in. Add some more of this darkness in. Don't forget, you can add more colour later. It's better to just do it a bit lighter to start with and then think, oh, this needs more pink, this needs more pink. Because once it's down, it is a bit of a pain to try and correct. Do not break Pablo's, Emma. To try and correct it later. Wouldn't be one of my videos if I wasn't breaking anything, would it? So the next colour we have is 071 Salmon Rose, ever so slightly lighter again and again. I'm now bringing that further out from those shaded areas. Further out and in. Because I want, I'm thinking maybe a satiny kind of dress. I'm obviously going to leave a little bit more white than I would otherwise have done. And of course, the other thing is, if you wanted that to be kind of a see-through sort of nightie, you'd go even paler with everything and probably ghost in some of, if you kind of ghost in some of the background, like actually in a body shape, change the colours, so this would look a little bit palish green, and you can completely change this again. It really does depend how far you want to go with it, but you could, add some skin tone in here and some green here, and if your background's a little bit black, you would grey some of this out a little bit darker, and then you would add the palest pinks in, and all of a sudden it'll look see-through, and it really is. It is as easy as that. It takes a bit more artistic license, to be honest, than I generally want to put into a page. I just want to colour. I'm not the best drawer. I can do certain bits, but I'd rather just colour, if we're being really honest. Don't tell anyone. So if you want to do that, you're on your own, ladies, but you can. Right, so and all we're doing now is creating folds and pleats and shadow. And there is no stress to it. Right, a paler pink again. I'm going to add this Granite Rose 493. I'm going to pull my light out because we are going to add that in. Oh, Terralyn. Yeah, that's all a very lot to deal with all at once. I hope next week is much better for you and for your niece. It's always sad, isn't it? It's hard. There's always people going through things. It's what we've got to remember, isn't it, really? Right, so with that paler pink again, I'm now going to go basically everywhere that I don't want it to be a white highlight at this point. So I'm now kind of taking my own artistic license at this point, because you're not going to know exactly where the white highlight would be, because it's not really drawn that way. So you're just kind of work your way inwards, cover any pale grey with this nice pale pink, and just leave little sections wherever you want. Have fun with it. but where your lightest, brightest bit of page is. So get rid of everything else. Work it all the way in. And because I'd left kind of a very pale edge to those pinks, this nice pale pink just kind of blends away into those darker colours. I bet you guys can hear my computer like going mad, can't you? I would imagine. I think in future I might have to put my computer a bit further away from my webcam. Oh, Corey, well, thank you so much. Oh my God. I didn't even know that was active yet. I only turned it on and they put this weird thing on saying, you will have this available at some point in life. So you, Corey, my wonderful, wonderful YouTube wife, that's who she is, has put, so you can go down the PDF rabbit hole with me, your YouTube wife. You know I won't. I will end up with a book, but the problem is if I start PDFs on top of my bookcase, then can you imagine the pickle I'll be in? I don't know why I like to have the book so much. I've not figured it out. I'd rather battle this paper and it be in a book. How crazy am I? I don't know why. I do. But you're an amazing sweetheart. Amazing. Thank you for that. So we're now working that pink in, so we're just leaving little bits of white. Little bits and pieces. Okay, so earlier somebody asked me how I blend, and I will now show you. So I've got most of it mapped out the way in those areas that I want it to be. I don't think I'm quite at 550 yet, Emmy, but I don't think I'm very far away. Emmy, who of course is actually Emily. I've gone way past Corey's put, we have to join the insanity together. If you have seen my craft room tour, guys, you all know my bookcase is way past insanity already. So I'm not even going to pretend to be at sane limits with my purchasing. Oh my God, I'm not quite at 550. I know I'm not quite. I'm pretty sure. Right, so incorrigible. Oh, D says, Emma, how many have you coloured in? It's definitely not 550. If I'm being honest, probably a couple of hundred. So it's probably more books than most, but nowhere near. I'm definitely at the point where I'm a colouring book collector more than I'm anything else at that point. Yeah, I'm collecting. I collect the artwork. Some people have priceless works of art on their walls, and instead I have them in books. So what I do is I take my palest shade. In this case, I wouldn't use my white because it will actually change my pink tones to something I don't want it to. And I will blend with my palest colour. So I'll go everywhere I've been with my darker colours and work that out into my next layer and just bring it out that little bit further. And that is how I deal with Amazon paper and white space. So instead of using a blender or any yucky mediums that you need to use, I just take my palest colour and I add my layers over the top in that. And that is how I've worked in pretty much all of my books, to be honest. It's actually honestly how I just colour because can't be bothered. So you'll see, obviously, it starts to smooth it out. And then what you need to do, because whenever you add that paler colour, it's going to lighten it. So the trick that I've realised that I need to remember to do is you take your darker colour and you do put that darkness back in, because it'll just wash everything out, and you've just got to, just very lightly, don't go crazy, just get that darker colour back in where you've just kind of blended it out a little bit, just add a little bit back over. The thing to getting beautiful pictures with any kind of shading and grayscale is not being afraid to add your contrast. Like this grey is dark. Where the dark is dark, it's dark. And where the light is light, it's white. And you have to remember to have that colour depth. So, you know, don't be afraid to put your dark pink in the little folds of shadow there, and then bring in your other paler pinks. And then when you're done, put your darker pink back over, because as these blend in together, that dark pink's not going to look that dark anymore. It's going to look the way that it should. Right, so I hope that makes sense so far. And then what I'm not going to bang you. I'm sorry, make everybody sick. So what we're going to do then is we're going to take our white, because I want a shiny, shiny dress. She's running around in satin like any rich lady of the night should be. Let's see what I've missed, because I've probably missed a lot. Probably about 20%, Corey. Probably only about that. Thank you very much, Deb. Terrelyn says, guess what? My birthday day is only in 14 days from today. Yay, Terrelyn. Happy birthday in 14 days for you. Melissa wins though. Hers is in 3 days. Melissa, happy birthday for 3 days. Yeah, it's so nice when your birthday is coming up. I hope you get beautiful colouring things. Enjoy your lunch, Corey. We know how you get if there's not food nearby. We do not want Corey to miss her lunch. She turns into angry Corey when starving. Right, I'm going to add my white in now. To be honest, you don't have to do this. You know what I mean? Like the white parts of the page are white. I just think it just finishes off the blend of the pink colours next to it. So I do kind of like to do that. It's probably all in my head, but, you know, let's make more work for ourselves and add some white where we want our white to be. I don't want the white of the page. I want my white. And let's give that a brush away, and I hope you can kind of start to see that dress come into life. If you feel like some of the grey is looking too grey, you can again just add some more pinks. I like to layer quite palely, so you can work your way up to deeper, richer tones. Like I said, I wanted it to be quite a pale pink nightgown, so I don't really want to add a crazy amount of pink, but you also don't want it to look too grey. And you really can work those shadows in. As you work your page, you'll get a bit more confident. In, and it gets that little bit, it starts to look nice. Your confidence will pick up. It will. Oh my word. Hi Wendy, nice to see you. I'm not all my wording at you, by the way. I'm all my wording at Sept, who has put, somebody posted yesterday, Christmas is in 99 days. So that is now 98 days. Oh, I've not done anything for Christmas because obviously it's September and the whole thing makes me stress out. Let's see now. Who put... Oh, Emmy's birthday is in May. Oh, you've got a while to wait there. Not as long as me. Mine's August, so I've got to go all the way back round again. Sorry, Emmy. You were asking if someone had a list. Terrelyn, have you got a list of crafty things for your birthday? I think we all have a very long wish list if we are crafters, to be honest. My wish list gets longer and longer every day, to be honest. So Corey's eaten, everybody's safe. I'm going to move on. Obviously, I want to do bits of different things so you can see different things. And the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to tackle this little shrub. And this time I'm going to use the infamous black barrel brutfuners. I'm sure plenty of people have this big budget set. They do a 180 set on Amazon, and it's basically the white label black barrel. So if you have things like Sue Colour or, well, a billion different kind of pencils, they're all the same. The Crayon, I believe, are similar to these as well. So again, I've got 3 greens here, but you just want a dark, a medium, and a light, and you're away. I have olive 022, lone green 120, unusual, and light yellow 176, which is actually, if you ask me, a very light green. Yeah. Sorry, D's put. Thanks, Emma. Now I can start stressing about Christmas. Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Now I feel better. Right, I'm going to take my dark green, which is the olive, and when I'm tackling leaves, these would be beautiful done in fine liner if you're not filling the pencil. Just fill all your dark shades in, then your medium, and then your light, and they do create wonderful effects. But what we're going to do is, obviously a lot of this is in complete darkness, so you're going to have to guesstimate what's what, but I'm going to put my green shading in, one nice crisp line along this door frame. I'm kind of going in circles because I do want the appearance of shrubbery, so I actually want it to look a little bit, rounded edges, leaves in the background behind the others, and I don't really mind if it kind of goes over a little bit some of the other tones, because it will look a little bit more realistic that way, I think. Do you guys want me to bring you in a little bit? I'm going to bring you in a little bit so you can see a bit better, but then you will have to remind me, I'm sorry for the ride, you will have to then remind me when I forget to move my page so you can see, okay? Right, I'm then going to take a medium green, which is the 120, and I'm then very simply going to bring that out from that darker shade over everywhere that isn't very light on the page, over all the medium grayscale. See how much fun these pages can be once your fear is gone. These pages are doing, especially when they're done well with a good illustrator, a good company. They will do all the work for you. I'm just checking that my arm is staying, that my camera arm isn't falling this time. So again, we're going over all that medium tone of green. What I would probably also do later is where your real darkness is, you could take an even deeper green or even a black and put it over some of that green to really darken out and give some depth to this. And you really don't need to be panicky or worried, to be honest, about these at all. Right, I'm going to take my palest colour, which is the light yellow, what are we? Light yellow 176, and I'm literally going to go real roughly over the lighter areas. And again, I actually will work this over some of my other green, just to kind of blend in the edges, smooth everything off. And again, use my lighter colour to create my own blend. And the black barrel brutfuners do move a little bit, so with the pablos you need to layer a little bit more, but with the black brutes you can actually move and squish your colour around. So it's just being aware of what kind of pencil you're working with, so you know the way they'll move and kind of colouring accordingly. So I've worked over all that paler green, and then again same as we said before, you're going to take that darker colour back in, and you're just going to work some of that back into some of the shadow, just to add that depth back to the page. Again, if you just don't want to be hassled with all the extra, you could have coloured this with a light green marker and called it good. You could just circle a few shades in and call it good. All the extra work you do is completely up to you. You're going to end up with a beautiful page regardless, because to me, art is art. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't make a difference. And then when we come back out again, because to be honest, I think it's too close really for you to be able to see what's going on. My bush looks like a bush. Can I say that on YouTube? We'll see. Right, let's see. What is everybody saying? I literally just zoned in on Abby Pudding. Corey, I'm already in shape, as round is a shape. Brilliant, Abby. Wendy's put, been colouring in my book, World of Flowers. My cats have been helping me. Oh, my cat's been helping me, bless her. Oh, yeah, I have a colouring buddy like that. I'm not sure I could call it help, but he is usually there. He's downstairs with his dad today out of the way. Emily disagrees. She thinks pets make good colouring buddies. I think they make more colouring sidekicks rather than a helper. Melissa's put, as long as you're chasing that salad with a bowl of ice cream, I'm okay with it. Yeah, to be honest, I'm more the bowl of ice cream kind of person. And Christine's cat has run off with a canary yellow. Now that I can relate to. That I really can. Right, so we've got a little bit of dress and a little bit of tree, and we are going to do a little bit of skin. So I'm going to do this slightly differently because, like I say, I have had quite a few people ask about marker bases. I very rarely use a marker base. I don't know, I just like pencil and I don't mind Amazon paper. But for the people that hate Amazon paper and they hate the white bits, you know, you can use a marker base and get rid of that problem, and then your pencil's on top. So I'm going to, for my skin, we're going to go with this Artex marker. This is from their skin tone set. It's number 315 because they don't have colour names. I, of course, have a billion sheets underneath my page so it doesn't bleed through to my next one and destroy my soul. And we're going to very, very carefully. This is the point where you do have to be careful. So alcohol marker on, especially Amazon paper, is going to bleed. It's going to bleed outwards and it's going to create a little inky puddle. So you're always going to lay very lightly and not all the way to the edge in your marker. It's also going to, the moment it dries and you add any more next to it, streak like nobody's tomorrow. So you're also going to keep moving in your light layer all the way to the end of whatever piece you're drawing without stopping, because otherwise you're going to end up with a mess. So continue on, a nice light layer, stopping short of the edge just so it can bleed out a little bit, and that is my marker base. And this is the point. You could stop there and you just created a beautiful skin tone because the page will do it for you. However, if you want to be a bit extra, which I'm going to, you can add some skin coloured pencils to the mix. And I have, again, my Pablos. I've just picked some random colours because I do stress with skin tones. So I've got a few to try. We'll play and see. So I'm going to start again in my shadow. I'm going to take this 045 Van Dyke Brown. You could add a little bit of a violet to the shadow, and that's going to also help it look a little bit more lifelike. But I'm going to add that brown into all the darkest areas of grey. And again, feather it out a little bit so it's going to blend into the next colour. And check you're on screen, which you are. We've got a little elbow divot, whatever we call it, just here. And I am going to add that. It'll look crazy at first, don't worry. We've obviously got, she's a healthy one. We've got little tendons going on. Obviously works out. Even though it's quite a dark colour, I'm laying it very lightly, creating this shadow line along the bottom. And then fingers are hard work, but you've got a little bit of shadow under the knuckle. Try not to go crazy. It will very quickly look like, you know, a play pretend hand. I've then got this kind of warmer brown, this 057 chestnut, and I'm going to go back over that darker colour. I'm going to bring it out a tiny bit further, not much, and just very lightly, so that will blend into my next colour. See, aren't you wishing you'd just stopped at the marker base now, eh? And I'm just going to start to add some more definition. We're still a shadow colour. We're just a richer, warmer brown. Just very lightly turning all that grey to brown. Okay, so now I've kind of got my shadow the way I want it. I do want to add basically some skin tone to her, which is a different thing entirely. So now I know where my shadows need to be, and it doesn't matter, I'm going to colour over them. We're going to have, I'm going to add a little bit of a pink and a little bit of an orange. So we have a salmon pink 071 and an apricot 041. I'm going to very lightly pop the apricot down, very, very lightly, because that marker base was also quite an apricot colour, and I don't really want it to look like the old Sunny D stories that they used to go on about. If you had too much orange, you'd look orange. So a little bit of that, very lightly. And then this pinky tone, salmon pink. And now we're going to change the tone of that. Yet again. Again, very lightly. Don't want her to match her dress either. And she's still looking crazy at this point. I've now got, we've got a Venetian red and a light ochre. So I'm going to take my light ochre, which is basically a yellowy brown, and I'm going to work that in from my darker areas, and I'm using that as a blender pencil. So I'm going over the darker tone and bringing it out a little bit, nice and lightly, but I'm smoothing in that brown so we don't have kind of crazy lines and edges. I want her to look like she's well worked out, but like she has had a meal in the last 4 days. And I'm going to blend this out with this colour and work those other colours through. I'm not taking it all the way in. I'm just essentially popping it over the other darker colours. Okay, and then again with this, what are we, Venetian red, a little bit over that darkness, but I'm not bringing it out as far as I did the ochre. Little circles now because I want to blend. I'm sorry I haven't checked chat for ages, have I? I hope you're just chatting amongst yourselves. We'll do this arm and then I'll answer anything that you've kind of got from what I've shown you here today. So I'm just bringing that over the top of everything. It's quite a warm brown colour. Okay, so I'm now going to take a very, very pale pink. You're now going to adjust as you go. So you have to be thinking what colour you're ending up and what colour you want to be. She looks a little bit orangey to me, so I'm adding pink over the top rather than another orange because I don't want to increase the orangeness of her skin. So adjust as you go. This is a Granite Rose 493. And again, everything's pretty light, nice and careful. Now this is Amazon paper, so a couple of layers in, you're going to get to a point where it's done. You're going to get nothing else. It's not going to react anymore. It's going to start making a messy puddle. So just before that point, I'm going to take my white and I'm just going to go over some of the lighter areas. Like I say, white will always change what you've got. It will really lighten that colour. It's going to make it look quite stark. But to be honest, you know, she's walking at night through the moonlight. It's kind of what I'm going for. And then I'm going to take that darkest brown again, the Van Dyke brown. And as always, I'm going to lay my shadow back in and darken it all back up. And recreate all that depth. Okay, we're going to brush that off and have a little look. Right, so you're going to notice, because let's point out, you know, the mess. This line here is too harsh. And it's on Amazon paper, so you're a bit stuck with it. So all you can really do at that point is to actually thicken it out and blend it away a little bit. Darken everything a little bit and hide your mistake. And essentially she will be a darker skin tone than she was meant to originally be, is how we will end up. Are we having a problem? Why? Wendy, is YouTube messing with your messages? That is very weird. It's not on my end, so yeah, it'll never do that. It won't. On our end, it'll hold a comment and we can kind of release it and let it go through, but it won't delete it. Wendy's back. She's okay. She's here. Oh yeah, but comments on your videos, YouTube's a nightmare. So let's bring up and out what we have, so you can see kind of you know, this is my point about, you know, no, everything looks horrendous from here. You know, take a step back from your work. If you're not, you know, sure, have a wander away and come back. So yeah, we're kind of, we're getting there. We're looking. Like I say, I don't really prefer a marker base, but people wanted to see it, so you got one. And as that kind of, as we add more to it, she's going to start to come to life a little bit more. I'd probably make her kind of a silvery blonde, I think, to go with that lovely pink nightgown. I probably wouldn't even mess with this. I might add a very pale lavender, what's the word I'm looking for? A really pale lavender marker pen over this to give like a purple ethereal glow to my moon. And to be fair, I may just add, I'm one of these people that's a little bit extra, and I will go over the grayscale in greys and whites. If I'm doing grey and white, I do like the idea of that, you know, really nice, rich, modern, old plaster that's like a really nice grey and white and got a little bit of a cream glow to it. Well, ivory, I would say, more than cream, and I would probably do that. I'd probably keep quite a nice pale French door as well, because I think everything inside should be really white and cream and light, and then everything outside is kind of surreal and dark and misty purple and black, and all your colour is focused into this small square of page. Then between her and the purple moon and the green tree, you're really going to pull everything into the centre of the page. If you want to add really bright tones to, you know, you could create purple walls if you wanted to. You can do any colour you want, but the brighter you make all this, the more she's going to disappear in. And with that kind of magical moonlit moment, I would prefer my background to disappear away, and I'll leave it all just whites and greys, and probably even just do the same, just emphasize the black and the white and the grey of the floor rather than adding colour into everything else. That is how I see that page. Right, guys, we are an hour in. I will continue to colour a little bit, but mainly Emily, I'm thinking of blonde, to be honest. Would you guys prefer to see the hair done? I'm kind of at the end of the bits and pieces I'd planned to actually show you. So at this point, if you have specific requests, do throw them in there. No problem. I will do anything you want. So yeah, guys, questions, requests, it's time if you want to. But apart from that, I haven't even picked pencils for hair. I just don't plan a page that far ahead, to be honest. I really don't. I'm terrible. It's horrendous. Hair, please. Hair it is. No, I'll be honest. I wouldn't want anything as colourful as any stained glass. I would make them quite light, and probably I'd make them reflective. So I would add a little bit of pink into them as well, because you can see through them. You can see the pillar, but I'd probably put a little bit of pink from her and add it on. The pressure is on now, Corey says. I'm going to pick some. We're going to pick some hair colours is what we're going to do. Let's have a little look. I think I want quite an ashy blonde tone, so that's what we're going to kind of go with. Dee's decided she wants the moon. You know what? I can do both, because the moon's going to be very, very simple. So I'll do hair and then I'll do the moon. Because to be honest, that moon is going to be ridiculously easy. But I will have to run off for a moment, because Badly planned. I will be back in 2 seconds because I forgot a pen that I now want. I thought I'd been so very organised. Okay, so we'll do the moon and then we'll do the hair. Coy's counting me out. Right, and this is why I do not stress about stuff like this. So I literally just on the fly picked a couple of colours for my moon, and that is that. It doesn't matter. I've picked some very, very pale lavender colours. I'm going to give them a little try on a scrap of paper because, let's be honest, once we've started colouring, we're committed now. We don't want to ruin this. I've got a pale lavender 145 from one of my sets. That is my Touch New set. And I have this pale blue from that Light Wish set. I'm going to pop them both down. I'm not going to make the newbie mistake of then colouring straight away. I'm going to give that 30 seconds to dry and actually turn into the colour it's going to be on Amazon paper. Honestly, I only walk down the stairs and back up again. Shouldn't be that difficult, should it? Right, and once dry, I think I like this one actually. I like the cooler tone. Cooler over the warmer tone. So we're going to go with this pale lavender 145 from the Touch New marker set that I have. Love-hate relationship with these because they yellow terribly, but we'll be safe with this one. So I am really simply going to colour in my moon. Just for the sake of not messing with my page too much, I am going to go right across. So we're going to swipe side to side all the way across the top of that, just because I don't want that little patch to look really odd. I'm going to do the whole thing, being very careful as we get near other items. Working quickly while my pen edges are still wet. I don't really want streaks anywhere. I've left quite a bit of space around her because I'm just really not risking that, to be honest. I'm all right with it. I'm all right with the way that it will look. It'll dry in and it will fade more than you think it's going to, and it'll be less obvious that she's got an outline around it. But I'm not living that marker life bleeding onto her skin. Right, so we are a very pale. Yeah, no, sorry. Missed a bit. I basically just continued on but didn't go near the edge. So we literally have one purple background, and that is our lavender moon. It looks more purple in real life than it does on shot. I think I need a better camera. Bought myself a webcam, this thing, and my phone is probably better. So, oh, you're very welcome, Beauty Care. Anything I can do to help is the main thing. Anything useful is what we're trying for here. I'm going to move up. I'm going to move my book up as well. And I've got a bit of room to work. Right. Hair. Because that really was as simple as that. So I've pulled out some. I'm going to go more of an ashy colour than a yellowy blonde, and I'm going to sharpen my pencils because you don't want to be doing hair with anything that isn't completely sharp. Bet you guys were expecting a lot more to that moon. Sorry. You can always add a bit of darker purple into the shadows if you are feeling the extraness, but to be fair, for that little purple background, I feel like that will do what I need it to do. Right, we're going to try this. I've got some Cocoa 405 and a little bit of brownish beige 404, beige 403. Doesn't look like a beige, but whatever. Ash grey 401 and a bit of cream 491. And I'm going to work my way down through the darker colours. And we're going to do hair the way we always would. We're still going to flick. I'm going to start with my darkest colours in those darker areas. And work it up. Turn my pencil to keep my point. Add a tiny bit of that into this root area here. You've got to work the way of the hair, so you're working out from the centre of the scalp and down and around, and then I tend to come up from the bottom. So it'll feel quite dark, and that's because it is, because that is our shadow. Add it in. Oh, I'm sliding again, aren't I? Oh, my camera, honestly, we live a day. Let's tighten that up. I'm travelling, stuff I have to put up with. At some point, I will invest in things. Let's see if he's going to stay still. We'll give him a moment. See if he is secure. He's not. Bear with me. I don't know. Things you have to do. In fairness, second stream. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're working our way up to doing stuff properly with proper equipment. Stuff's not cheap. Right. That's the first layer. I'm then going to add some brownish beige. Say that one quick. And again, I'm going to work that over that darker colour and bring that a little bit further up and out. Apparently my camera arm deciding to drop is going to be in every one of my lives, it would seem. Again, just with a really nice sharp point, working that in. And lighter still. Yeah, I never do anything right, so there's no point starting now. It'd seem like it wasn't me, wouldn't it? Right, next one would be the beige. It's the weirdest beige I've ever seen, but Pablo says it's beige, or Caran D'ache, should I say. So again, we're just working our way further in, bringing each colour further and further in. Pretty sure this is hair, to be honest, just here. This girl's haircut, honestly, we've got shorter bits, longer bits. Don't know where she goes, but Thanks, Corey. Love you too. Let's see. Oh, hi, Courtney. Courtney Lynn. Hey, girl. Happy to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining, guys. If I missed anyone, hello to you if you came in and I wasn't paying any attention to what was going on around me. I am very sorry. Abby says, do you ever use water-based markers? And if yes, which type of page do you use them on? Rarely, but when I do, they tend to be... it's moving again, isn't it? While I answer that, I will adjust this. It tends to be, you know, those... the Disney books, the French Hachette Heroes Disney books. It tends to be those. More like, because they do streak, I don't mind doing the streaky lines in those. The only other time I use them is the Belba books. I do the cross method in felt tips, because felt tips give a thicker line and they're more fun. So yeah, that's pretty much the only time. What about everyone else? Guys, when do you use yours? Vicky says, how long have you been colouring for, Emma? I started last April when lockdown started, so a year and 5 months, something like that. So a little while, not as long as some. But I love it. Really glad I found it. It saw me through a fun year, to be honest. Courtney Lynn's put, wow, how rude. How dare you not pay attention to the chat while you're colouring? Well, you know, you've got to say hello and look up every now and again, haven't you? Courtney's then put, hopefully that was read in a sarcastic tone. I hope I gave your sarcastic tone justice there. Courtney, you're all right. I knew you were joking. We won't kick you out. Hello to Nicole. So glad for you to join us. I'm just so pleased, guys. Thank you so much for people being here. It's wonderful, especially for these first few while I'm kind of ironing out kinks and improving and learning to get my camera on to stay in the right place. So, next colour. Cream 491. So like I said, we're working inwards in lighter colours. I don't want any yellow. You don't really put yellow in blonde anyway. But she's definitely a white blonde. Let's see. Courtney asks, what do you do when you stake? I'm going to assume you mean streak. Yeah, streak with your markers. I'll leave it. When I'm colouring the Hachette Heroes, I just go side to side with my water-based and I leave it. If you mean with my alcohol markers, I get really irritated. Really irritated. I tend not to. I've learned to not streak with them and I stick with that because it really bugs me. If I'm colouring this kind of page and it streaks, it really irritates me, to be honest. Corey is under duress. She's locked in a box, tied by a wire to her laptop, and every time she doesn't answer people's questions, she gets a little shock from her collar. So ask all the questions you like, people, and imagine Corey in her little box with the little shock when she doesn't answer. Right, I've got one final colour to add, and I've got this ash grey 401 that looks quite interesting. We like to pick on each other. It's because she's literally my YouTube wife. So, Courtney, I do 2 hours usually. So I started at 7 and I'm hoping to drag this out till 9 o'clock. We'll see. 2 hours seems to be a decent mark. To be honest, this one might go a little bit less because I've pretty much shown you everything I kind of planned to, and I think you guys have run out of questions. Courtney's put, I live under a box and totally didn't know you stream. I'm freaking offended. I'm really sorry. To be honest, I've only streamed once. This is literally my second time. So I did my first one 2 weeks ago, and I am streaming every 2 weeks on a Saturday at the moment. So you're very welcome to climb out of your box every 2 weeks on a Saturday and come stream. Come watch the stream, however you say that. Yeah, let's get this. Like I say, I really would suggest, you know, if you're not if you're not filming a YouTube live stream, I'd probably do this stuff a little bit slower and, you know, a bit more attention. I think I'm going to come back in with a bit more cream. You just really want it to kind of to see those little hair strokes in everywhere, and then to just blend the colours together a little bit with your lighter colour as always. Vicky's put, bloody hell, you're very talented. Oh, thank you. I think the camera just makes everything look better, to be honest, because she's got the worst arm I've probably ever coloured in my life. Let's see. Oh, cannot wait for Halloween. I love Halloween pictures, Emma, and my entire October Shop My Stash will just be full of well, Halloween pages, to be honest. So I am so hoping I'm not old enough to be your mother, Courtney. I'm really hoping I'm not. Lisa, oh, just so happy to have you here, Lisa. Thank you for joining. I'm sorry you missed the beginning, especially if you wanted the grayscale help, but it's all there and I hope it's nice and clear. And if any of you watch this stream and it leaves you with questions after, I am on Instagram with the exact same name. I'm Emma Colours 2020 there as well. And if you pop any comments under the stream, you know, in the stream comments, then I'll always answer anything. I always reply to everything. And if you don't get a reply, I didn't get the message, so send it me again. Caitlin says, I'm not a fan of Halloween, but like Halloween pictures. Oh yeah, I'm not. I don't trick or treat or anything, but I love doing the Halloween pages. Love it. Emmy's put, have you done any Halloween page yet, Emma? I haven't. I've been very well behaved. I am waiting for the October mark to like bang, kick off, and I'm away. Everything October is hopefully going to be Halloween, mainly because I had a few colouring buddy commitments and none of them happened to be Halloween pages yet because it was too early. So obviously I'm working on finishing my buddy colour commitments before starting my Halloween madness. I suppose really while I'm chatting for this little bit of time, it makes sense for me to still be actually colouring, doesn't it? So I think we'll tackle this little patch of interesting lace up the top because, to be honest, I think that would make for an interesting little piece of dress. And I'm going to pop my pink in just into the little shadowy pieces there where there's little folds in the lace. Almost that little detailing. We've got a little bit of a shadow under the bandeau there. And then, to be honest, I'm going to take my really pale pink Hi, Beth. Oh, so pleased to see you, Beth. Of course, yeah, when you go back, when you watch it, I hope it's useful. I've had so many people say how nervous they are about grayscale, how scared they are to try grayscale, and you guys know I love my grayscale. I colour it so much. It's so relaxing that I really do want other people to just really get to share the joy of it, to see that it's not what you think it is, that it's not the horror that you're expecting it to be, and that it's actually really fun, really easy once you get used to it to do. I'm not gonna lie, not at first. You're going to ruin a couple of pages, so, you know, buy yourself a cheapy book that you're not bothered about. But, you know, have a play, have a practice, have some fun. So I'm just popping a really pale pink over the top of that, and, you know, a really nice, simple little lace bandeau across the top of there. So it will look paler than the rest of the dress, and just that little bit different. Let's see, Vicky, who is my colouring quest, has put, I've only been adult colouring since May. Oh, so just a few months. I hope you're enjoying it. It has brought me so much fun and so much peace. And she's put, this is my first Halloween and I already have about 10 books and I've seen so many more. Oh, she's me. Eventually you'll have a bookcase. That's what happens. You end up with a bookcase full of books. Emmy's put, are you gruesome Halloween coloured? Anybody done gruesome Halloween pages? Ooh, I actually haven't done any, but I do have one of the, is it Alan Roberts. I have one of the Beauty of Horror books. Haven't coloured in it yet. But, oh, the idea of doing zombie skin, it really appeals to me for some reason. Courtney, I can't practice. I'm too much of a perfectionist. The minute I mess up a picture and I sob and go back to my box. Then get yourself a practice book. Get yourself a cheap book. I was saying earlier that the Caran D'ache books, they're only about £4, and get yourself a practice book. Something you can just do bits on pages, mess up, and just turn the page and do again. A cheap book to practice on. It's important. It really will, you know, it'll help. It'll take the stress away. Just one book for £4 that you can ruin if you need to. Or better yet, create a beautiful page in and rip that one out and keep it. And it will just take the stress away as you practice. It really will. Corey says, that's not a bookcase. That's wood under a stress test. Well, Corey, I am pleased to be able to stress test that bookcase, and later I will leave a very valid review on YouTube to the people that built it, whether it passes my test. Audrey's done 2 pages in her other new book, Colour Questopia, Happy Halloween. Oh, I got last year's Colour Questopia Halloween, and I love mine. Oh, Abby, I can't wait to see that. Abby's done one of the title pages of the Alan Roberts, I assume. I bet that's fun. Can't wait to see that. I'm going to assume, Courtney, that you mean never thought of doing that is the practice book. Emily's put, is there a good grayscale book to practice on? Yes, actually. If I was going to recommend a single one, let me grab it. Bear with me. I would actually recommend this one. So this is Black River Art, which is Caran D'ache, and it is his Dream World book. And I recommend this because it's pretty cheap, and it is this thick, and it has really fun pages that don't go to the edges. They've got borders on. That's what I like. Big thing for me. Some computer generated ones, and it's got like little mushroom houses and light effects and grass texture, and it's a dark grayscale, so it's a good one. It's a good one to start with. It's got lily pads and flowers and weird floating things, lots of sky effect and mushroom houses, and it's one of those perfect books to just practice. I mean, you know, a bed in a garden, to just practice and play. It's got crystals and water. and curtains and roses and walls. I really do think it, you know, swans gets very random. This weird one we did together on my channel, if you want to know how to do water and lily pads and grass. Just beautiful, fun pages. Turned into a flip through. And just, you know, get that one book. It'll take markers, it'll take pencils, you can use your fine liners. This is one page that I did when I first started colouring. I messed it up. My marker streaked and then it bled, and then I tried to use a blender, alcohol blender pen on it, and then I struggled blending my pencils into my markers, and I just shoved some glitter up top to just make it shiny and fix it. And I played and I learned, and for everything I messed up, I learned how to fix it. And this page is a monstrosity of a page, okay? It's horrendous. It's got weird shiny patches where, you know, the alcohol's gone funny. And you know what? I don't hate this page. This is how I learn, and I still work in my book. I consider this, you know, my journey, and it is what it is. I'll be honest, I'd probably be mad if I did that now, because I've learned from these things, so I wouldn't expect it. But I don't look at these pages and hate them. I just don't. So if I was going to recommend a grayscale book to practice on, I would say Black River Art, Dream World. The first one, because he's got a few. He's got about 4 out, but Dream World's the thickest one, I think, and it's got a bit of everything. And it is what it is. Right, let's have a little look. What did I miss? Vicky's been collecting the Colouring Heaven mag. Oh, yeah. There's some beautiful grayscale in there to play with, and it's slightly better paper than the Amazon, so that will be a nice one. Audrey has started Instagram. You've had yours. I've seen you. I'm on yours. I've seen yours. Audrey is away. You know what? What is it that Deb's put? Not Deb, Abby. My fear is that it won't be good enough, or even worse, I'll post a rare one I'm happy with, and then it will be downhill after that. You know what, Abby? I post good ones and bad ones, and they're all a part of my journey. They're all on there. Some of the ones I hated have the most likes. So, to be honest, just because you don't like it doesn't mean others won't. And just because you love it also doesn't mean others won't. But it's nice to have it there. It's somewhere you can go to look through them. You know, create it as something for yourself. Keep saying and keep it. You're never, ever going to fail at something if you don't set limits to yourself. Don't set expectations. If you got 5 likes to a picture, 5 people you never met liked your picture, it's all you need. It is. It's all you need to share. Bad's in the eye of the beholder, Abby, because bad to you will be good to others. And it's still something that, you know, if you feel like it wasn't good, then do better next time. But other people might like it. But don't be scared to share because you think it's not wonderful. Art is art. Some of the paintings that go for hundreds of thousands of pounds don't actually go for that much money because they're amazing to look at, you know? Because let's be honest, some of them are just janky. But somebody out there loves it. So that's how it works. As someone out there will love it. They always do. And yeah, Courtney's thought, Emma was the first person that ever reached out to me. But I bet I wasn't the last. I bet you chat to loads of people now, Courtney, and you have an amazing time being part of the colouring community. And I love seeing Courtney's pictures, done a couple of buddy colours with her, and I love watching her videos. She is a lot of fun. And I'll be honest, Abby, you have friends in this colouring community, people you chat to, that you know they're going to interact with you on your Insta, and they're going to like your pages. You will see, you've already got Deb. You've already managed to win Deb over. You're already doing all right. So, I'm pretty sure I follow you, Abby. If I don't, I'll add you on. I follow that many people now. Right, guys, I'm not going to go for much longer now, because at this point, like I say, I think I've imported the bits and pieces that I wanted you guys to know. I appreciate you so much for coming and taking time out of your Saturdays and your lives to come join me and have some fun for a couple of hours. I'm loving doing these. I'm not sure what the next one's going to be, but I'm really considering it'll be 2 more weeks, which would take us to like the end of the month. And I am considering maybe a haul. I think I might do the next one as a haul, a supplies and colouring haul, show you the books, do a quick flip through of what I've got, and you know, a bit of a demo of my new supplies. I do a lot of hauls. I've never done one live, so do let me tell me what you think of that, guys, down below. It is Courtney. Courtney says it's a pretty big deal putting your own pictures out there, and when you do, it's a pretty big deal and a great accomplishment. And it is. It's not something small. It's massive. But it's such a shame not to do it. You know, especially if you want to, because yeah, we're all here. You're going to get plenty of likes. And for any person that's going to be an idiot, you can block them on Instagram anyway. It's not a problem. Just hit delete. They're gone. Yeah, basically, Corey, I'm considering a massive enabler live. But you know, I just think, well, I've taught you how to do my grayscale now, pretty much shown you my greatest scale. You now have all my secrets, and I'm not needed for anything anymore. So what else can you do but a live? A live haul at that point. But yeah, I'm loving doing the lives. I love my channel, love my videos, love interacting with you guys. This is an amazing community, Abby. So, you know, don't even, you'll meet lovely people. You really will. And those pictures will be there for you, so that, you know, once you post it on Instagram, it means you can join the hashtags as well. And it's so much fun. To join the hashtags, and you know, I feel like you're a part of the community that way as well. When I first started, once I found those, that is why I actually started my Insta, so I could. I never had Instagram before. Someone at work had to show me how to do it. For my I've done it for gaming, because I was a gamer, so they showed me how to set it all up, and I did my gaming posts, and then I started colouring, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, that is what Instagram was made for, colouring pictures and hashtags. Anybody that just created their Instagram, I am EmmaColours2020 on Insta. Please send me a message. Just say, I was watching your live, I have created Insta, or I'm on Insta. Come follow me, and I will follow you. I probably follow some of you already, but if I'm not following you, send me a message. Say I was in your live and you said you were going to follow me, so I can add you guys on, because I love that. I normally follow the colorists I chat to, because once you're following people, when they post things, it pops it on your feed, so you can see it and you can give it a little thumbs up. Because yeah, it's just fun. It's fun to see people's posts, see their pictures. I mean, God, I see colour by number pages that come up, and I think, oh, that's pretty, and it gets a little like, because they're pretty. Art is art. It just depends which one you like. So, guys, like I was saying, I hope this is yeah, you could put it that way. Come stalk Emma on Instagram. Give me a message, stalk me on Insta, and I will stalk you back for follows. There you go. I will come follow you on Instagram, no problem. Just send me a message, say I was in your live, you said you'd follow me, and I'll give you a follow, no problem. As always, I've enjoyed this so much. I've enjoyed chatting with you guys, how lovely you guys are. I think from the feedback, I will definitely make the next one a live haul so that you can be wonderfully enabled with everything. So that will be 2 weeks from today, and she does. Corey always harasses me at 2 a.m. when she's awake. Thing is, it's not harassment for me because over here it's midday, so it doesn't bother me none. This Selina Fenech book, Deb, is Grayscale Colouring Edition, Memories Wake, Victorian Romance by Selina Fenech. And the link's actually in the description of this video, so you can click to that to have a little look. And also the Jade Summer Chibi Horror, the link is in the description for that as well. But like I say, a little bit of practice. I did not start out this way, and I'm still learning how to improve my craft. And to be honest, if you were perfect, where really would be the fun? Where would be the learning and the excitement? The first time I created hair that looked like it was hair, I was so excited. I ran around the living room. I ran upstairs to show my husband. He's like, yeah, what am I looking at? I text a picture of it to my mum. Like, oh my God, look at this, look what I did. Where would be the excitement? Where would be the fun if we all started out being able to do everything wonderfully without learning? Because there'd be no excitement or achievement when you create something beautiful that you felt like you couldn't do before. Nicole, the second Dreamworld book is wonderful. I have that one as well, and you know what? It's time to play and practice, because there's nothing to be intimidated about. That book has about 40 pages in it, so let's be honest, never pick your favorite page first. That is the only rule in colouring. If you're going to colour in a book and you're a bit nervous, you don't colour that usual thing, don't go for your favorite page, go for a different one. Go for one you fancy but isn't the best one in the book. Have a play, have a practice, and you know what, if it doesn't turn out perfect, you'll get it better next time. So, as I said, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Thank you for being the amazing people you are. And I will see you in my live in 2 weeks if you're available and about. And Corey and Emmy, thank you for being my wonderful, wonderful moderators, even if one of you is tied in a little box receiving electric shocks. Hi, Pebbles. Oh, I am. But thank you so much for popping in. If you did want to see anything grayscale and you watch it back and you have any questions, give me a shout. Thank you, Pebbles. Penny, should I say? Thank you, Penny, for coming. It's so nice. It's so amazing for me when you guys turn up to the lives. You can't even begin to imagine how much fun it is when people actually turn up to your live stream and want to watch. And yeah, thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.